This episode will make you question everything you thought you knew about wealth. Because it's not just about how much you make, it's about where you live.
There are 5 states in America that are literally designed to keep you broke. Your zip code is either working for you or it's working against you. People are making over $90,000 and still going into debt just to survive.
Anthony ONeal is sounding the alarm. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly how it was designed, to keep your pockets empty and your dreams on pause.
Where we live matters more than how much we actually make. If you're successful in California, they're taking more than 13 cents of every dollar you make just in state income tax.
You need to watch this, because financial freedom might mean packing your bags.
We've been lied to about the American dream. Family, I just read an article, actually this morning after I worked out, that's going viral right now. And it had me thinking. I mean, it really had me thinking. There's a study that looked at all 50 states within the United States of America to find out where Americans are actually thriving and surviving when it comes to saving money and getting a head start when it comes to building wealth. And I was like, this is interesting. And as I was reading it, I got fired up. and if I'm being real with you, the results are going to shock some of you. There are 5 states in America that are literally designed to keep you broke. And if you're living in one of these states, I need you to hear this. I'm about to make some people a little uncomfortable today. And I know some of you all are going to be in the chat section in YouTube saying, Anthony, no. But I care more about your financial peace, your financial health, and your financial future than your feelings at this present moment when it comes to this particular state. And what I love about this is, with me being a professor at Virginia Union University, one of the things throughout my course in the consumer economics and financial literacy course, I'm telling these young people, I'm like, hey, you're getting a degree. Your biggest wealth building tool is margin, right? So again, I've said this several times on the show. If your income is here, right? And if your expenses are here, in between is your margin. I need to get an iPad in here so I can start drawing and stuff out so y'all can really see it. And I tell young people, when you graduate college, don't go to the most popular state. Don't even look for the state that offers the highest income, because if your income is high and your expenses are high, you don't have margin. So you may need to look at what is the best state that gives me the best potential to have the most margin. So this means you may make less income, but if the cost of living is extremely cheaper, then that means you can have more margin. When you have more margin, you can do more saving, more investing, more whatever you want to do with your finances to get you to the point to where you can eventually move to the state that you want. So listen, I don't want you to get mad at me today. I'm just going to be telling you what the data says. And family, listen to me. This isn't just some random open opinion piece. These are researchers who looked at the 7 key factors: income levels, cost of living, taxes, housing costs, and the debt ratio, and all the stuff that actually matters when you're trying to build wealth. And here's what this study found that blew my mind. Y'all think making good money means you can build wealth anywhere. That's absolutely wrong. Let me tell you what they discovered about Hawaii. The average family in Hawaii has a household income of $91,000 a year. That sounds good, right? We're $9,000 away from $100,000. But according to the research, they still can't even save money, AKA they're living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because the state is designed to keep you broke, AKA it is expensive to live there. And before you say, Anthony, that's just Hawaii. Nah, family. This study identified 4 other states doing the exact same thing to your money. And the researchers looked at everything, and the results don't lie. So here's the thing. We've been lied to about the American dream. We've been absolutely lied to about the American dream. They told us, work hard, make good money, and you'll be fine. Work hard, make good money, go to school, drown in student loan debt, buy you a home, and you'll be fine. But nobody told us that where you worked hard matters, that where you lived matters just as much as how hard you work. Ooh-wee. I've been teaching financial literacy for years, and I keep seeing the same pattern. Good people working good jobs, making decent money, but they can't get ahead. And when I look at where they live and how they live, boom, there is the problem. Why are you living in California making $55,000 a year? Because this study just confirmed that what I've been seeing in my community, in our community, your zip code is either working for you or it's working against you. And if it's working against you, we need to have a serious conversation about your financial future. Family, I told myself I'm not going to scream at y'all this year. But this data has me really flipping out because I'm like, wait. My people are out here grinding. My in the Black community, they're out here grinding. They're getting up every single day and busting their rear ends, trying to be a good steward of what God has given them. But some of them, these states, are picking y'all's pockets. Let's be honest. Most people are stressed and stuck in the paycheck to paycheck cycle because they were never taught how money actually works. That is exactly why I built this channel. Every week, my team and I are breaking down how to master your money, how to get out of debt, save, invest, and build wealth without borrowing a dime. No fluff, no hype, just real money talk that actually helps you win financially. You see, because money impacts every aspect of our lives, our peace, our relationships, and even our future. If you don't take control of it, it will control you. And if you're tired of just surviving and you're ready to build wealth God's way, you're in the right place. Over 900,000 people have already subscribed to our YouTube channel with over millions of downloads on our Apple and Spotify podcasts. Now, when we hit 1 million on YouTube, we're giving away $30,000 to help you get out of debt and to start building legacy. So listen, don't just watch. Hit that subscribe, family. Join this community. Let's build real wealth. Let's build real financial freedom together. It's your boy. Hit that subscribe. Let's get back to the show. And so I want to give you the 5 wealth killing states that if you're struggling financially and if you're living in one of these states, I hate to say it, it's probably time for you to move. Period. Because according to this research, here are the 5 worst states for building wealth. State number 5, Oregon. This state came in 5th worst. And when you see these numbers, you'll understand why. The study found that in this particular state has a 9.9% income tax rate. Let me put that in perspective for you. That means if you make $100,000, they are going to be taking out almost $10,000 just in state income tax before you even get to federal tax. But it gets worse. The research showed that over half of renters in this state, watch this, 50% plus are spending more than 30% of their take-home pay in housing. This is what we call house poor, family. And 35% of homeowners are in the same boat. So let me do the math. All right. So now we're at 90,000 times that by 35%. 5%, you're spending $31,500 a year. A year just to live. Now, this state does have one thing going for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. No state sales tax. But that one benefit gets wiped out simply by everything else they're taking from you. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, state number 4. Let's go to state number 4. Now, this one surprised me when I read it because I lived here. I lived here when I was younger. It's Florida. The state everybody's moving to because of what? No state income tax. But the study ranked it 4th worst for saving money. How was that even possible? Here's what the data shows. 56.8% of renters in this state, Florida, are house poor. That's more than half. And the cost of living is higher than most people even realize. So yeah, they're not taking income tax, but they're getting you everywhere else. Listen. I've lived in 2 states, no state income taxes, Florida and Tennessee. And it sounds good on paper, but if you can't afford to live, what's the point? The researchers found that Florida overall cost structure still makes it hard for people to save money and to build wealth. You're daggone right. Which leads me to number 3. I'm not blown away by this one. The 3rd worst state to live in, Massachusetts. See, Massachusetts came in 3rd worst, and this one is going to hurt some feelings because the study showed Massachusetts has the 2nd highest cost of living in the entire United States of America. Even with the median household income of $93,550. Pause. I'm going to pause right there because when I start using these words and start quoting these stats, I want y'all to understand the difference between the word average household and median household. Average is if there's 10 families making all this stuff, they put all their stuff in that and then they divide that by 10. That's the average. When it says median, it means that 50% of the people are below $93,550 and 50% of the people are above $93,550. So the median number is $93,550 for the families, which is the 2nd highest in America. But people are still struggling to save. Anthony, how is that possible? If the family is making almost $100,000 a year, why? Let me tell you why. Because the study showed that because nearly half of all renters and close to 36% of all homeowners in Massachusetts are house poor. So you're making $94,000, $6,000 away from 6 figures, and still can't get ahead because everything costs so much. Family, this is what it means. This is exactly what it means when I say income doesn't equal wealth. You can make 6 figures and still be living paycheck to paycheck. Because a lot of us are fighting our location every single day. The 2nd worst state to live in, I think all of you all would know it. If you want to guess it, guess it. I grew up in this state and I left the state because I just knew I can't win here financially. My family still lives there, and it's California. California, the land of dreams and broken bank accounts. According to research, California ranks 2nd worst for saving money. And when you see these numbers, you're going to understand why. You see, California has the highest top marginal income tax rate in the nation, 13.3%. I want to break this down for you so you can understand this. If you're successful in California, they're taking more than 13 cents of every dollar you make just in state income tax. Then they hit you with a 7.25% sales tax on top of everything that you buy. But here's the kicker. Hold up. The study found that 53% of renters and 41% of all homeowners in California are also house poor. Even with the median, don't forget what I told you about median, the median household income is right around $85,300. People can't save and invest money because the state is designed to take the majority of it. I have family, I have friends in California making $150,000 a year in a household, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. While some of the issues that we face when it comes to our finance is a personal finance problem, I think a lot of it, if you're living in one of these states, it is a location problem. And the worst state to live in, I said it in the very beginning, is Hawaii. The worst state in America for building wealth, according to this study, is Hawaii. Now, don't get it twisted, man. I believe Hawaii and California are two of the most beautiful states ever. I know Hawaii is paradise, but paradise is expensive. Hawaii has the highest cost of living in the entire country. The second highest individual income tax rate. And get this, despite having a median household of $91,000, Hawaii residents have the highest household debt to income ratio in America. That means people are making over $90,000 and still going into debt just to survive. And studies show that over 56% of renters and 38% of homeowners are house poor. I want to say this up front. When you're making $90,000 in your house and you still can't save any money, you still are living paycheck to paycheck, that's not solely a you problem. That is a system problem. That is a state problem. That is a cost of living problem. Because here's what the financial gurus who are social media influencers only won't tell you. Where you live matters more than how much you make. I'm gonna say that one more time. Where we live matters more than how much we actually make. And this study just proved it with hard data. You see, God gave you a brain. He gave you a brain to be a good steward of the money that he trusts you with. And part of stewardship is making smart decisions about where you plant your family. I've seen people making $50,000 in North Dakota, building more wealth than people making $100,000 in California. Why? Because they're not fighting their location. They're working with the location. And can I be honest with you? Some of you all are getting defensive right now watching this. You're thinking, Anthony, I can't just up and move. And I get it. I'm not saying that because I understand moving is hard. I've moved 5 times my entire life. Moving is expensive. Moving means leaving family, leaving friends, leaving church, leaving your community, leaving your comfort zone. But here's what I also need you to understand. If you stay somewhere that's designed to keep you broke, you're not just hurting yourself. You're also hurting your children. You're also hurting your grandchildren. You're also hurting your community. You're also hurting your local church because you ain't tithing. You're breaking the cycle of generational wealth before it even starts. Listen. This isn't about being disloyal to your state. This is about being loyal to your family's financial future. Oh man, watch this. This is not even about being disloyal to your family. I know some of y'all saying, man, if I leave, man, my mama, my daddy, my grandmama. So you're gonna say living paycheck to paycheck? You're going to stay having no margin because of your family? Building credit the traditional way is slow and confusing, and most credit cards want you to rack up debt just to boost your score. You see, I used to think that you had to choose between staying debt-free or having a good credit score. But, here's what I've discovered. There's actually a way to build credit without any credit checks, without going into debt, and without paying crazy interest fees. And it works faster than I thought possible. See, my friends at Kickoff, they are the truth. They are doing something different. They help you build credit the right way without the debt trap. I've seen people go from no credit to a 700 plus score using their system, and they did it completely debt free. Say it one more time, completely debt free. Over 150,000 people have left 5-star reviews on the App Store. Users see an average of 34 points increase in their credit score. Some even see, watch this, up to 84 points within the first 12 months. These aren't just numbers. These are real people getting approved for homes and getting better interest rates. Here's the truth. Every month you wait is another month of paying higher interest rates on everything. A good credit score can save you a lot of money, thousands on a mortgage, hundreds on car insurance, and even help you skip the security deposits. Don't let bad credit cost you money. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/kickoff right now to get started for as little as $1 on your first month. I want you to build credit the debt-free way because your future self will thank you. One of my assignments that I gave to my students at Virginia Union was they had to come back and write a 2-page paper. The first page paper was, what do you want to do? They had to give me 3 careers that they will start doing research on when it comes to their degree. So the career has to be aligned with their degree. Because I don't believe that you just get a degree for a sheet of paper to show that you did something consistently for 3 to 4 years. F that. No. I want you to get a degree that you can use. If you paid all this money for it, use the degree. And so I have all my students, hey, all right, man, I want you to write out what are the 3 careers that aligns with your degree. Okay? Once you give me those 3 careers, the next step is give me the average salary for those careers. Okay, cool, great. Then the next is, I want you to find the best state to start your career in. And when I give this to them, man, they all come back with the best state that has the highest paid income. They bring the presentation, and at the end of it, I shock them all. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about margin. Then I teach them about margin. And then after I teach them about margin, okay, listen, this is the key thing you're looking for. Now I give them another assignment. Now I want you to go back, do the exact same paper. But I need you to come back and give me the 5 best states that will position you to have the most margin. And I did the research for you all. If you're looking to get back on your feet, if you're looking for a fresh start, especially in the day and time of working virtually, I'm going to give you the top 5 states that you should consider moving to give you some breathing room to help you build margin. Number 5 is Nebraska. Nebraska came in the 5th best. And here's why. The median household income is $78,000. And that money goes further than almost anywhere else because the sales tax is only 5.5%. And the property tax rate is so reasonable at 1.4%. But here's the key. Only 42% of renters and 26.4% of homeowners are house poor. So this means over half of individuals are not house poor. So let's go deeper. This means that most people can actually afford where they live and have money left over to save and invest. Here's number 4, South Dakota. South Dakota ranked 4th best. And this is where it gets interesting. The median household income in South Dakota is $67,000. Lower than some of those wealth-killing states that we talked about. But here's the thing, right? South Dakota has no state income tax. That means you keep more of what you earn. And the study found that only 24.6% of all homeowners are house poor. I mean, 75% of people, again, can actually afford to live there. Your money can't actually, I'm sorry, not can't, but your money can actually work for you instead of just covering basic expenses. Number 3, Iowa. Iowa came in third, and the numbers tell the story. Median household income of $76,000 with a reasonable 3.8% top income tax rate and 6% sales tax. But here's what really matters in Iowa. Iowa had one of the lowest household debt to income ratios in the entire country. So this means in Iowa, a lot of people are not going into debt just to live. They're living within their means and building wealth. Number 2, Wyoming. Wyoming ranked second best, and this state is a wealth builder's dream. The cost of living is low. The median income there is $73,000. And they have some of the lowest property tax rates in the country. But the best part about Wyoming is that they had the lowest percentage of renters burdened by housing costs. Your housing money can go toward building equity instead of for just surviving. And number 1, North Dakota. North Dakota. Here's why. Median household income is $78,000, one of the lowest costs in America when it comes to tax rates, right? The study found, particularly in in North Dakota, that less than 40% of renters and less than 23% of homeowners are house poor. This is pretty much letting us know that people have money left over after covering their bills. Family, do y'all see the difference? In the wealth-killing states, most people are house poor. In the wealth-building states, most people are not. It's that simple. So I want to give you some practical action steps as we end today's show, all right? Anthony, you gave me the top 5 places not to live. I might be in one of them. Anthony, you also gave me the best 5 to live, but all those states, we can see why. Those are some boring states. Those are some boring states. Nothing out there. Bunch of rural area. If I'm a black man, probably a bunch of white people, which is nothing wrong with that. It's probably not, a state that got a lot of things going on for itself. So of course it's going to be cheap to live there. But what's most important? To get the margin, to get yourself at a healthy place financially, to get your income up so that you can eventually move to the state that you desire. Because if you're stuck in a wealth-killing state, here's the very first thing that you need to do. First, you need to maximize your savings rate. The study mentioned that the national average interest rate for savings account is only at 0.038%, and that is 100% garbage. You need to get your money into a high yield savings account that is paying like 4% or more. There is a long list of high yield savings account that are offering. My favorite is SoFi, but what I'm going to do is I found a list of like 4 of the top ones. We're going to put that inside of today's show notes. All you have to do is go to anthonyoneal.com/savings. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/savings. And I want you to move your money. If you're getting anything less than 4% or anything less than 3.5, I need you to move your money out of that and put it into this. No matter what state that you're really in, we need to start maximize and making sure that our money is making more money. All right. So go to anthonyoneal.com/savings. We're going to have that inside of today's show notes. But your money needs to work harder since your state is working against you. Second, I need you to attack your taxes like your life depends on it. Max out your 401k, max out your IRA, max out your HSA. Every deduction you can find, you got to max it out. If your state is going to take your money away, at least reduce what they can take. Why are you giving your money to the state when you could be giving your money to your future? When you could be investing that and building your wealth up? Third, stop being house poor just to impress people. The study showed, it did show, that housing costs are the biggest wealth killer in these expensive states. So I need you to downsize. I know, Anthony, downsize? No, what? Man, listen, my sister and brother in love with my 3 nephews and 1 niece, family of 6. They downsized. They went from a 4-bedroom to a 2-bedroom on a ranch. If y'all follow Belief in Fatherhood, Yvette and Glenn Henry, they downsized. They downsized, 1, to get closer as a family, but then 2, to create more margin for some of their dreams that they desired. They wanted to buy an RV and travel the world with their kids and expose them to different things, because Yvette is super educated. She's the smartest out of all of us, right? And she homeschools. So she wanted to expose their kids to some things and do different things. And so they wanted to downsize to create more margin. And it's hard to do that in California. So they downsized a family of 6 into 2 bedrooms. Husband and wife had 1 bedroom, and 4 kids had 1 bedroom. You got to do whatever it takes to get your housing costs under 30% of your income. You got to do whatever it takes to go further. When you want to shoot an arrow, you don't just shoot the arrow like this. You got to bring that arrow back. And you gotta let it sit there and gather all the tension up, and then you release it and it goes forward. So sometimes stepping back positions us to shoot forward even faster. But a lot of us know we care more about the image. We care more about being comfortable. No, nothing happens inside of your comfort zone. Nothing happens. We have to be willing to be uncomfortable. We have to. This season for me is uncomfortable. I'm working my butt off. I'm writing a brand new book. I'm building a company and shifting the company. I'm in school, finishing I finished my MBA in the month of September. Shameless plug. Your boy is super educated now. And then I start my doctorate in October. That's right. Your boy getting a doctorate degree in finance and investing. We're going to have a show about that later. We can celebrate that later. So not only am I in school, like, I am uncomfortable, but I understand. Because I'm doing all this, I had to scale back on my business, downsize my team. But I understand I got to come back so that way I can shoot even further. And the fourth is you got to start planning your exit strategy. I'm not saying you have to move tomorrow, but start researching jobs in wealth building states. Listen, the 5 states that I gave you today were just the best 5. Do your own research like how I have my students do. Do your research. My students are freshmen and sophomores in college. You got 3 years, 3 to 4 years to figure this out. Start doing the research now while you're saving, while you're investing, while you're downsizing. Start coming up with the plan. Okay, all right, man, Texas, I think is a great state. It didn't make the top 5 lists, but I think Texas is a great state. Maybe not Dallas, maybe not specifically Houston, but if you can get on the outskirts and if you can work from home, if you have your own business, if you can work virtually, man, start building skills that are portable. Start preparing for the possibility that moving might be your family's best financial decision. Because if you can move, you got to do the homework. And please, and this is what I told my students at VUU, don't just look at the salary. You have to look at the cost of living within that particular state. And then second, you also got to factor in taxes at that particular state at every level. Your state income tax, your sales tax, your property tax, because all it adds up. And if I'm being honest with you, I moved to the DMV area without considering that information. Because DMV is expensive. It is expensive. And if I would have stepped back before leaving Tennessee, I would have left Tennessee. I had to get up out of Tennessee. I ain't gonna lie about that. But I don't know if DMV would have been it. If I would have looked at the stuff I'm teaching you now 5 years ago, I probably would have ended up in Texas. I probably would have ended up in North Carolina, South Carolina. Because as I was doing some studying, I was like, man, I kind of slipped up on this one, Ayo. The study looked at all of these factors, and so should we. Don't be surprised that within the next 3 to 4 years, Anthony ONeal is gone. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I am gonna be gone. I'm finishing up my degree. I should be graduating with my doctorate in May of 2027. My goal is to be married for sure by then. And me and my wife, we're moving to a wealth building state that will give us more margin to invest into our future, to invest into our kids. Move my whole team. Like, yo, listen, this is where I'm going. Like, I would suggest y'all go here too. Because I want to be thinking generational wealth. I want to be thinking about my kids and how I want them to set them up to thrive. I want to build something to where we can build something that lasts. Listen, as I end this show, and I'm doing better. We're almost at 35 minutes. I can't stress this enough. Make saving and investing a non-negotiable monthly expense. Pretty soon, I'm going to lay out the escape plan, which is my version, my money practical steps. And I call it the escape plan. I told you, as I'm growing, as I'm evolving, as I'm maturing, man, and as I'm back in school and as I'm studying a whole lot, the reason why I call our community in the Black is because the majority of us are in the red. And I want to help us get in the Black. And the only way to get in the Black is we have to escape the red. We have to escape some mindsets. We got to escape some of the systems that we've been taught. We have to escape even some of the thinkings that we've been thinking. And that's why I call it the escape plan, because we all want to escape living paycheck to paycheck. So we have some major things coming that is going to really help us. And I believe it's going to transform our community. I can't wait to teach it. I genuinely cannot wait to teach this. Because we have to escape not saving and investing and start saving and investing. We have to escape not having a budget because we're scared to see our actual numbers. To now it's like, yo, I got a budget and I live off of a budget. That's the only way you can cut the fat. That's the absolute only way. Because when I budget, I know where my money is going. I know what I'm going to do. And watch this, I'm already budgeting for the next 3 to 5 years because I know I want to move. So I'm already setting money aside to build my dream home with my wife down the road. Dear future wifey. Come on, Latarius, right? I'm strategizing about what I want. I'm studying, looking at the states. But what you all have to do is you got to start eliminating your debt. All of us. Because your credit card debt is killing your wealth, y'all. The interest is killing your wealth. And one of the main reasons why some of you all can't move as quick is because you don't have the margin to set aside to save for investing and to save for the move because you're paying out so much money in debt. So listen, look for ways to increase your income. Look for ways to get out of your consumer debt. Start saving. And let me say this before I end this episode. Some of you are sitting there and you're making excuses right now. Anthony, I can't move because of my family. Anthony, I lived here my whole life. Anthony, this is all that I know. Anthony, my job is here. And I get it. I understand the emotional attachment. But here's what I need you to understand. God wants you to be a good steward of what he's given you. If you're living somewhere that's designed to keep you broke, unfortunately, that's not good stewardship. Sometimes being faithful means making the hard decision to move your family to where they can thrive financially. Abraham left his homeland when God called him to something better. Maybe God is calling you to something too. And the reason why you're not experiencing better is because you're more loyal to people than you are loyal to what God is trying to give you. And for those who absolutely just cannot move, I'm not judging you. Life is complicated, I get it. But you cannot use your location as an excuse to give up on building wealth. You just have to work harder and you gotta work smarter. The study showed us the truth. And we're gonna honestly put that study inside of today's show notes. So I want y'all to see it for yourself and know it's just not just Anthony ONeal just giving his opinion. We're gonna start doing that. Like when I start doing some studying and I'm quoting studies, I'm gonna make sure that I put this study inside of the show notes. So that way you all can see it and read it for yourself, all right? Now, I got a question for you. What are you gonna do with this truth? Comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on a podcast. Hey, get over to my YouTube channel or shoot me an email, anthony@anthonyoneal.com, and let me know what you thought about today's show. And let me know if you're living in one of those states that I mentioned today, worst states, bad states. Let me know your honest thoughts and opinions about those particular states. And we'll continue to have this conversation. Listen, in the Black community, we getting there. This is your boy, Anthony ONeal. I love you. God bless you. I'll see you in the next show. Peace.